Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I am the Bardic Knock. I am the Game Up Master for today. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, all as the Bardic Knock. Today, we're going to be playing another session of the Final Fantasy D6 game. I cannot remember the name of the people who wrote it, but it is fan-made. It is free to play. Just Google Final Fantasy D6 and you'll probably find it if you want to go find it for yourself and play it with your friends, because it is a lot of fun. I'll give a recap on what is going on in the session after the players introduce themselves. So players, fight to the death over who gets to introduce themselves first. I mean, we're in a voice call, so I don't know how you do that. But...
Roll initiative.
Hold on. Guard.
In our Discord chat, ATV just put an emoji of two cross swords.
Hold on.
Oh god.
Who asked us to fight you to death?
See if I can find it.
This is so delightfully juvenile.
Oh, come on. It's got to be here somewhere. Fuck it. I'll just use the first one. You'll understand the reference.
And Rain has just replied with a gif of us being told to drop our sword. Okay, for real, we should introduce ourselves so we can actually play the game. Look, so long as we amuse ourselves, that is what matters. So, you know what, ATB, you're direct underneath me, and you know what, we should pretend there is an order to these things. So, ATB, who be you?
I don't know anymore. It's been a long week. Who knows who I am these days? But also people know me as a tired bi, because I'm so sleepy and also so incredibly bisexual that's insane. Today I am playing as Lilith, our edgy, quiet Dark Knight. Who killed a Kraken last time. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And now she's slowly learning how to make her own weapons. Which is a power I should never have, but okay. You can usually find me lurking.
Sorry, I just had to find the image of Bismarck.
Yeah.
The power of Bismarck and friendship is how we killed the
Oh yeah. But yeah. I can usually be found lurking around in other people's chats, just being slightly annoying, slightly hilarious. I never know which. I just assume annoyance until proven otherwise. On Wednesdays now, I believe it's like every Wednesday.
Yup.
Is it right?
Yes.
Yeah, every Wednesday now, I'll be back here for a new Digimon tabletop role-playing game that Bardic's also running. And there I'm playing as Rukia Nakamura, who is who was like very fun to play like last time, so I'm pretty excited for next session. And then every second Thursday you can find me over on Hunted Case channel, where we are playing in a Curse of Straw campaign, where I play as Zatari, our ASMR bard, who last session got called out on various things. And now everybody is now everybody knows, like, oh, she has skeletons in her closet, metaphorically. Yeah.
Probably literally as well.
I don't know. She Doesn't own a closet.
It's Strahd. There's skeleton in somebody's closet. Just knock on doors until you find one.
Just search all the closets we find. Like, hello, skeletons.
Just try not to be rude because they might be awake.
Yeah, skeletons, get the fuck up.
Yeah, the skeleton also might not be ready to come out yet, so you let them do that in their own time.
Fair.
Like, you can encourage them to come out, you just can't force them out.
This is a safe, accepting environment for skeletons.
Indeed.
Oh, alright.
Come to that, it's Barovia. Of course it would be a safe, accepting environment for skeletons.
Yeah. It's like the best place to be a skeleton.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Nat, who are you?
I'm Natural One. I'm playing Malcolm Stone, right? The Red Mage. And I'm pretty much here and on Twitter, and that's about it. Boring. I don't have much going on right now, but I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. Serious heart hands.
I am the brain trust behind giving Bismarck lots of weaponry.
I think calling any of us brain trust in-game is giving too much trust.
I admit that I am less stupid. So, like 90%.
There's nothing wrong with being stupid. Nothing at all. Because we make it work. Alright, and then finally, we have Rain. Rain, who are you?
I am the Peanut Gallery. I am Rain Hayes, and I play Reno Boom, who likes to blow things up, and is now an engineer, so can make even more things blow up. Sometimes on purpose. You can find me here, and you can also find me on Shay Foxy's channel every Tuesday, where I play a werewolf, who a couple of sessions ago revealed something kind of important about herself, in that she called out the name of an archfey, was suddenly covered in ice claws, and went kind of berserk.
As you do.
Yeah. It was basically, we were all going to die, so I figured if we were all going to die, then everybody else was going to die too.
And then it didn't happen.
Well, I kind of scared a lot of people. I basically called out her name and then went, now we're all in trouble, and then went berserk.
That's really cool. Alrighty, so that's the gang. Gang's all here. Recap on events. After exploring a sunken temple and thinking, oh hey, we're all just gonna kick up our feet and relax. Nope. An eye patch wearing Kraken showed up, which we got into a fight. I apparently messed up a lot of the stats to begin with, and then quickly corrected them to make the fight not be a one-hit kill. Then we killed it with the power of Bismarck, friendship, and apparently a shit ton of weaponry, which we just slapped onto Bismarck for shits and giggles. And yes, then after doing that, we stole the Kraken's eye, we all leveled up, then we continued traveling towards Besaid. We finished off last session with Besaid just, it's not on the horizon, you can see it quite clearly, so you're not too far away, you're on the boat. There's lovely white, picturesque beaches. You can see young people, maybe like late teens, early 20s, seemingly playing with a ball in and around like the shore. How do you drive the? How do you approach? Are you just like docking the ship here? You're gonna try and dock in. It's quite a small port, like as in there's maybe room for one boat.
Mm-hmm. Is there already a boat in there?
there is not.
Oh, then we're totally docking it. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Malcolm, you know how to drive the boat.
That's a real strong way of saying what I can do, but
You know how to drive the boat excellently.
a 10.
100%.
All right, 10's good enough. Actually, how good is a 10?
It's moderate.
Yeah, 10 is moderate. You can moderately drive the boat. You can get it up. You don't crash into the docks. You don't destroy anything.
I have a mental image of like Reno, just like, okay, so we're here on business. We're gonna try and lay low. We're gonna be subtle about this, and it's a giant white and gold boat with Kraken blood all over it.
Well, with tar splatters from you messing around wanting to paint over it. There's Kraken blood. There's probably like, what did you do with the tentacles which you cut off?
I made them into food.
You did.
Yeah.
Dragon sandwiches!
So this boat just pulls up, and you
Sponsored by
see
Summoner Echo.
you see, there's like there's like 7 people on the shore. Now, I am a little bit uncertain on something. People familiar with Final Fantasy X, you know how Waka speaks.
Yeah, he speaks Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's kind of got like a Hawaiian twang. Now, I personally feel it would probably not be appropriate for me, a very white person, to attempt to imitate that. So I want to emphasize that these are clearly some kind of Polynesian. I'm not going to pretend I'm skilled or knowledgeable enough to pinpoint exactly what they are, but they are clearly inspired by said culture. So I'm going to try... I don't really know what kind of voice to give them, because I don't want to do an accent and it be offensive. I also don't just want to speak in my voice and it be unenthralling.
You want to hear offensive? I've been to Maui. I went to Maui a few years ago, and I pick up accents easily. I am a very white person.
Oh no.
So, like, I didn't realize I was using that accent until it was pointed out to me.
Oh, buddy. I do totally get that. Whenever I used to go visit family in South Africa, I'd start to pick it up eventually, and it's something lots of people don't accredit. You know how like there's the cliche of Canadians saying "a" at the end of sentences?
Yeah.
South Africans do that a lot as well. But like with that, I mean, South Africans are really weird accent in general because they have like 14 national languages, and so everything's kind of mixed mashed together. And especially like white South Africans, which are usually like a combination of like English, Irish, and Dutch. So they kind of have this like really weird accent, and the only way I can really describe how you do the accent if you're not from there is you just kind of get over vowels in a sentence, in a word, and you just kind of all move them along one, and that's how you get South African.
To let you understand what my English accent is like, because you would understand this. I got my accent from my nana. My nana's from Doncaster.
Proper northern lass. Go on.
So growing up, people would ask me to do an English accent because I mentioned that my nana's from England, and I would do an English accent. They'd say, that doesn't sound like an English accent. It sounds like a bad English accent. Because they were expecting a Londoner.
They were expecting, like proper RP or, Cockney. And you go, fucking knobhead. And what, mate?
Yeah.
See, Doncaster is literally, like... I grew up in Sheffield, which is, like, the city closest to Doncaster. So Doncaster was, like, a 20-minute drive away. So it's proper Yorkshire, like proper working class, lots of old pit villagers.
Yeah, according to my nana, there are still people of the older generations there. I mean, according to my nana years ago, because she died years ago, but there are still people of the older generations there that speak Tyke. So
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. There's definitely, I mean, it's definitely less, but you can definitely hear aspects of it, and certain words just never go away. Lots of people in Yorkshire, they will never not call an alley a genel. And the English language, the English, like in England, the differentiation in language is fascinating. So, anywho, we've been totally distracted. Shiny thing.
but we are now in besaid.
Besaid. So, these people, I'm going to try and give them some characterization, but I'm not going to try and impersonate the accent. So that's what I was going for before we got distracted. So characterization, gonna not give them, do a very white interpretation of a Polynesian or native Hawaiian accent, because that's probably not a good thing. So you see, none of these look. The only way I can describe it is like none of these look particularly like stand out anime main character. Like they're not generic, they're clearly all individuals, but no one's got big stupid hair, no one's holding a giant sword. These are just nice normal people, nice normal villagers who are playing or training or something.
Why doesn't anybody have eyes and they all have slight smiles?
Just nod and smile yourself.
When
It'll
they
be
see
fine.
your
I don't know. I was using stories first there.
when they see your boat pull up, you see that they kind of drop whatever they're doing, and the ones who are in the water, they kind of rush out the water and very quickly run up to the dock, and they look very serious and like, oh my god, there's something going on, and they stand all waiting, excited, and going, oh wow, can you believe it? A maester has come here, Maester Perumpt. Oh, I mean, I think he's a bit of a dick. Actually, no, he's a massive dick, but he's kind of important, so, we should at least, like... And they're all just stood there waiting. What do you do?
I throw one of the Perumpt statues over. Just into the water.
So, one of the... Oh, wait, these are, like, training dummies that you've, like, beaten up and scratched to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, broken. So just this, like, headless statue just gets tossed overboard. It hits the water and goes... sinks. And they kind of look around and go, I don't... Hey! Who's up there? What's going on?
Sorry, I meant to tie something to the end of that.
Is the maester there?
No.
Visible confusion. There is a visible confusion. Yeah.
He caught a cold. He's doing very well. He has only needed a little bit of oxygen, and we're really, within the past 3 days, he's really been doing well, and his vitals are good, and we're expecting him to be back soon.
He's at Norman Reedus General Hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He'll be fine.
Even if it was something serious, I may not... I certainly don't like him. And whilst I am not actively hoping that any human being dies, I would not be sad if such a terrible thing did happen to him. I would not be sad in the slightest.
We are, of course, talking of Perumpt, the character.
Yes, the fictional character, Perumpt.
Any similarities to real or imagined figures is strictly coincidental.
Purely coincidental.
So In fact, you know what? They all break character. They all turn directly and look at something that isn't there and go, uh-huh. Yup.
This is how you lay it on thick, lay it on thick, lay it on...
There's just Lilith still on like
It's like a Mel Brooks
the
scene.
main deck with a cup of coffee, just looks into the camera.
Okay, so with all of that done, they all stop breaking the fourth wall, and this group of young people, they haven't gendered any of them specifically, but you know, it's a mixture. There's some who are clearly presenting female, some who are clearly presenting male, some who are clearly not presenting as anything in particular. They're just doing what they do, and now that that's done, they return and look at Bungo. So you just brought the boat. Is there anything you need? Have you come here for a reason? We are visibly confused.
I leap off the front of the boat and do a midair somersault and land on the docks, because I can. And say, we are here escorting our Grand Summoner through their pilgrimage. Can you lead us to the temple?
Oh, sure. And is this...
I slowly and deliberately push over the gangplank so that we can walk down.
Lilith is just standing there stoically, still got a coffee mug, just slowly drinking coffee.
It says world's best Moogle.
Aww.
And Raiko will sheepishly follow behind and be like, hey, I don't think I'm technically a Grand Summoner, but okay.
I didn't ask you.
Nope, you didn't. Grand Summoner. That's me.
You'll.
We think you're grand.
Yeah, you're great.
Oh, you're great.
Okay, but we spent an entire montage last time getting you to be more confident, so if you could, like, pump that up, that would be great.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, if you can do it for like 5 minutes a day in public, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I think I got this.
And also do that thing where you stand in a mirror and just compliment yourself.
Raiko will position themselves at the top of the gangplank, and they will raise their hand up as if it's in a really awkward like wave, like, "Hi, I'm Raiko. I'm the Grand Summoner, and my friends say I'm great, and I kind of am.
Oh,
Hi."
and I kinda am.
And
That was a solid
You're
7 out
great,
of 10.
sweetie.
the people just stood there, and be like, "Cool. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I think
Does anybody want Kraken fillets?
visible confusion." And they just look around and go, "Okay."
I just start bringing down large slabs of Kraken tentacle.
So,
Like, obviously it's obviously octopus, but coming from something that is very big.
so, one of them steps forward, and he'll kind of like, "All right, hey, yeah, I'm not in charge because we don't operate under that kind of system here, but I'm the captain of our team, so I'll do the talking. It's easier than all 6 of us or 7 of us, trying to talk to you at once. So just one point of reference. Cool. Hey, so I'll happily guide you to the village. I don't know if you'll be able to get into the temple right away. There was another group coming through. I don't know. Maybe you know them. I don't know how summoners work. If you've got like a union or you, I don't know.
Do we have a union?
Lilith just looks at Raiko like,
Raiko looks around and goes, no, we're kind of all independent. Maybe we should form a union.
is this? Do we like fight them or take them to dinner? What do we do with other groups?
Take them to dinner?
I mean, you know, there's no need to like fight them. I mean, there's like some competitiveness between summoners. You know, back at summoner school, that one time at summoner camp, I don't know. Like, you know, of course there's competition because we all want to achieve it, and only one person in a generation will defeat Sin. But on the whole, it's like mutual respect with a twinge of competitiveness.
Rena looks very confused.
Well, the thing is, you mentioned Summoner Camp. I also remembered a one time you ended up sending me a missive talking about how somebody stole. Oh gosh, what was it? They stole something. They stole something from you, and you wanted me to come over to help, but I wasn't allowed in.
Yeah. Summoner camp was rough.
Indeed.
So what you're saying is we should blow up the campgrounds.
I mean, I'm not saying no.
We at least have to find this one person.
But anywho.
And basically be like, hey, stop being a douche.
Yeah. So, should we like go? Yeah, that one. Go. Let's go to the village. Ooh. Also, I suppose I should ask because it's kind of. It's not really our job, but it's kind of like sort of there. It's like an asterisk in the Summoner Manifesto. Hang on. Let me remember my training. Do you need any help on the island? As summoner, I am here to help the people. The villagers just kind of look around and be like, no, I think we're good. I think John threw his back out and might need some help on the farm, but, you know, he's probably just going to hire someone.
So, like, no overarching problems, like no bandits,
No,
dragons.
no, it's pretty chill. I mean, yeah,
Nope.
there's fiends on some of the paths, but you know, fiends are everywhere. And, you know, we just run away if they attack us. You know, it's not that big of a deal. It's a really chill, quiet, happy place here. And nothing bad has ever happened.
I don't really know what to do with this.
So, alright. So the person who's you know spoken up is like the point of contact and that. Alright, so we have two options here. Doesn't really matter. It just really depends. You want to take a leisurely stroll through the path, you know, walk past the waterfall and through some of the jungles, or we can go up to a cliff and dive in and have a little swim. The cliff is slightly quicker, but obviously you got to swim.
I look at Lilith's heavy armor.
Love just shrugs like, I mean, he's done a lot of swimming recently in the past few days, so you know.
Mm.
And before you ask, yes, this armor is actually very good for swimming. Made out of a very fine material. Very expensive.
One of the villagers kind of looks and goes, that's actually pretty cool. So it's like water dynamic armor. Oh wow, I bet that'd be super good in a game of Blitz.
Probably.
You ever played?
Do you get fireballs thrown at you a lot in Blitzball?
Not fireballs, but sometimes the ball can poison you. Or it can drain your stamina. or it can make you feel really weak.
I must defeat this ball.
Well, it's not the ball itself, it's the person who throws it. And some people, they I mean, it's not dirty, but it's kind of in poor taste. Some people, like, purposely just smack the ball into your face.
Oh yeah, back when I was younger, there was like this one chick that always kept doing that, and also kept poisoning the ball.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened to her after graduation.
In my school, we just shoot each other.
Visible confusion.
with crossbows? Guns?
I just put my hand on my gun sword.
Oh.
Nah, checks out.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to learn Goblin Bomb somewhere.
Very true.
And before I got the knack for it, I had to have it cast on me before I could learn it.
You know, I had never really thought about it before.
Same.
Yeah, college was fun.
Huh.
I mean, it's still fun. I'm technically still a student there.
Learn a lot about each other.
Indeed.
So,
These, like, 7 villagers just stood there, like, having no clue what is going on. It's like, should we show you the way?
Yes.
yeah.
Alright, cool. Follow. And they take, there's like a single path that goes up the beach. There's like 2 small cliffs on either side of it. It's really nice and picturesque. You walk up there, and it's a very luscious looking jungle. It's very vibrant. There's greens and reds. It's real pretty looking. You step into the jungle. First thing you see like some old looking ruins that seem like half submerged and covered in like trees and roots and moss. They look like they've been abandoned, really. And then you see 2 paths, one veering off to the right, and if you follow the eyesight along that leads out into a big open area where there's a huge pool of water at the bottom of the cliff. Then the other path veers off to the left, or up and to the left, and that seems to go deeper into the jungle. And then one of the spokesperson is like, all right, so which way do you want to go?
Reno is very, like, she can't make up her mind because she's like, that way, possible monsters, that way, death-defying leap. They're both such good choices.
It's also just looking back and forth like, swimming or fighting. How does a girl choose?
I am down to either beat the crap out of things or jump, so I'm not going to make this decision. Hey, let's have Ryko, our Grand Summoner, make it.
Okay. You know what? This is a perfect time to show confidence and self-assuredness. So, eeny, meeny,
Set yourself.
I mean, I guess we'd get there quick. You said it's quicker to swim, right? Dude nods. Plus, to be honest, haven't we all, at some point in our lives, thought it'd be really cool to jump off a cliff into a pool of water? I have.
Yes.
I've done it a few times.
I'm good at jumping.
Sometimes without the water.
I did that for my second date.
So is it just me who's not done it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm gonna slap him on the back. You're gonna have an experience today.
We're going to have fun.
Alright, let's go! Other than that, Ryko tucks Tauntaun under their arm and just sprints. Ryko sprints to the edge of that cliff, stops at the edge, skids, stops at the edge, they curl their toes around the edge, like hold their arms out and go, whoa, and just look out. This is probably one of the most wonderful, picturesque scenes. You know, if you ever stood at the top of the cliff overlooking like a pool of water, you can just like, you can hear...
I push on his back.
You just... Alright, yeah, you just... Boop. Riker doesn't get to breathe everything in for a second, you just... Boop. And...
No, it's like slow-mo of like panning out, and then it just cuts to Raiko like, wow. And then all of a sudden, boom!
Yeah, so you just push Raiko, and Raiko just... There is a look of pure bliss on Raiko's face as they fall. Just this amazing, like, yes. This is exactly how... Oh, wait, I should turn my body, otherwise I'm gonna belly.
Try not to belly! Oh.
Oh no, oh no, oh no! And Raiko doesn't turn it into a dive, but just goes up into a ball and just, like, bombs into the water, creates a huge splash. Just says, alright. Who's jumping
Not bad
in
for his
next?
first time. I'll jump in after him.
Do you do anything cool or just jump?
I jump down, I go, make room for it, and then I'm underwater.
Who's next?
Lilith, after watching everybody jump, she just sort of stands back near the trees. And then just does a running start as she jumps off the cliff and just goes straight into like a swan dive.
No, so very like Assassin's Creed.
Mm.
And Malcolm?
And then Malcolm does an extremely extra dive into the water. Lots of flips. It's very impressive.
Yeah. So all four of you land in the water. I assume, well, Raiko comes up to the surface, sweeps the hair back out of their face, and we kind of shake and look around. And they just go, that was amazing. Can we do it again? I mean, later. We should go to the place and do this.
We should probably do the temple. Yeah, we should probably make.
Alright,
Yeah.
Cool.
We have to come back this way anyway to get to the boat.
The people from a beach, they've all just jumped. They don't do anything special. They just, a lot of them just look super casual about it. You know, they just walk off the edge of a cliff and put their body straight and just like straight. Whoop. They just kind of follow and go, alright, yeah, follow us. And they just start swimming. It's a real easy path. It's really calm. The water's surprisingly warm. Like, because of the sun that hits it all the time. This is idyllic. Like, painfully, wonderfully idyllic. Like, this could be like a vacation spot. This is so pleasant.
I don't trust it.
I am scared for these people.
And you
It's
swim.
so peaceful.
You swim for however long. It doesn't take that long. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And you just swim, and you eventually reach a shoreline. You come up, you walk out, and you find yourselves at the top of a hill. And down the hill, you can see a very small-looking village, maybe like 10 to 20 tents and huts. The only solid building is at the far end of town, and that is also on a cliffside overlooking the ocean. And that is a big stone building that dominates the entire village.
What's that?
That's the temple. Pretty nice,
I was expecting our stop to be a bit more further in.
No?
Oh no.
So we're not blowing this one up, right?
No.
No, we should avoid that.
Visible confusion from the villagers is just like, what do you mean this one? What have you blown up?
Oh, quite a few things. You want to make a list?
Your hearts.
that can be taken in 2 different ways.
I need to do a thing. One moment.
I love that for
Flirtation attempt or a death threat? I am confused.
for us a summoner crew, we are the least expected people.
Okay,
We are
so,
the most chaotic summoner crew.
So Malcolm, after your reply of your hearts,
Mm-hmm.
the guy who asked you, his cheeks flush red. He goes, "Oh, I mean, oh, I mean, we just met. Hi."
Hello? I feel we've been traveling for a while. I should. Okay.
Oh,
Hello.
sorry. Going a little flustered there. Sorry about that. But yeah. Hey, we joking around, or is that a serious offer?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Reno's just gonna jump between them. This is so awkward. Where's the inn?
Oh, yeah, okay. Fine.
Lilith is rubbing her temples.
Sorry, I misread the situation. My bad. Yeah, follow me.
Okay. Start walking for a little bit. Oh, you were hitting on me. Got it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yep. Nope. Yep. So
Reno has her hair covering her face.
So anywho, here's Besaid Village. Yeah, it's pretty nice. You know, we got like a small item shop there. There's a tent way in the back. That's a Crusader tent. They normally let people stay there. We don't really have like an inn. We don't really get many visitors. But there's my house. That's probably too forward.
Do you have a tree?
Do I have a tree? Like me personally, or are there trees? Because we're literally in a jungle. Like there's jungle all around us.
I mean, if we want to stay in a relatively same position, then yeah. Do you have a tree? Otherwise, I could just go pick a tree.
I mean, there'll be trees. Like every place will have trees near it. Yeah.
I'm sleeping in the tree.
Good for you.
Actually, it's pretty convenient how in every single building we've seen there is just a tree. Even
Yeah, a
though-
lot of trees, lots of places.
Nature loves me.
Yeah.
Every conversation we have confuses this guy.
Yeah. So he just kind of looks around and goes, well, like I said, I don't know if the other summoner's finished. You know, it might be done. You probably go in, or I don't know. I'm gonna go take a shower.
Sorry, hold on. Did you say the other summoner?
Yeah,
Did you miss that part?
I did. I did say that. Yeah.
There's another summoner team
Yes.
here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
The summoner came by like a couple of days ago. They did the whole temple thing, and
Oh, there's a summoner now.
There's a puppy.
apparently, no. So,
By the way, how old is this person?
this person like early to mid-20s.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that one go.
With that, he just kind of like, all right. So, like I said, Crusader tent is over there. They normally have spare beds. So, I hope people get set up and all that. Or, you know, bye. I'm gonna go now. And he just starts doing a
Awkward
really,
gentleman.
does like a really awkward couple of steps backwards. Going over there. I don't know what I'm doing. Nope, wrong way. My house is that way. And he walks away.
I think we all just awkwardly stare at him as he goes.
Just like, should we tell him? Should we do something? Should we react to this? What?
Nope. No, we should not.
I slowly start chewing on a piece of Kraken meat.
So, the village, really simplistic layout. It's basically like a circular pattern. There's a wall going around the outside of it, but the center is basically like one big courtyard, except it's not like paved or anything. It's just dirt. It's a dirt path, and there's like a small. It's not a statue, but there's like a small feature in the center. It doesn't really show anything specific. It's just like, yeah, this is the center of the village. Then you'll see tents like dotted around. Tents, small huts, no solid buildings aside from the temple. The temple is directly in front of you, like at the very end, and that is on a cliff face overlooking the ocean. Right next to the temple, just in front of it, off to the left-hand side, is a tent that's slightly larger than all the other tents, and that is marked with an insignia. You'd have to do some kind of knowledge check to see if you know exactly what that insignia means, but that's the one the dude pointed to and saying that's the Crusader tent. Other than that, you see quite a few old people, which in Spira is kind of rare. You don't see many old people around in Spira. Because of the giant whale of doom. So you see a fair few, a couple of old people just kind of walking around, doing whatever they want.
Reno gets very uncomfortable. I feel like one of my professors is going to show up any moment now.
Other than that, there'll be the same basic amenities you'd find most places. So there'll be like a marketplace to buy food. There'll be a place where you can get raw materials, and there might even be somewhere that sells weapons, but weapons aren't super needed here, so there's no one who really specializes in making them. So, if anybody has them, it's probably by accident. The village is... It's just like a nice retirement place more than anything. Like, it's a really nice, quiet, out-of-the-way place.
Is it just me, or is the calm here surprising and a bit disconcerting? Or am I being
No,
annoyed?
I'm with you. I really don't know what to do with this lack of death and chaos.
I mean, we could. I kind of like raise my hand like I'm holding a goblin bomb.
We are not going to cause death and chaos ourselves.
I don't know. I think we should hear her out.
Are we gonna do the temple now, or in the morning, or some other date? Are we gonna wait for the other summoner? Are we gonna blow open the doors? Are we gonna cut down a tree? What are we doing?
I feel like if they're also doing their own thing, then it might be more polite to wait for them to be done in the temple.
Okay, but are we polite people?
No, we're not.
No.
I'm just...
Right.
I'm just saying there's a possibility that if we were all in the temple together, that there could be an accident, and maybe there would be one less summoner to contend with. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. There are no bad ideas.
We went from let's find someplace to sleep to let's assassinate somebody.
What happened here?
This person has presented zero threat to us. He must die.
Oh dear.
I'm not even sure how to even react to that.
Goblin bomb?
I present a nice, relaxing environment, and you're all like, how do we ruin it?
Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
Yeah, I played Final Fantasy before. I know how this works.
All right. Okay.
So do we make camp or are we going in?
You know what? Arctic, what did you say was there to do?
Not
Aside
very
from-
much.
We can challenge them to blitzball, but I don't want to play.
So, you can you can go to the temple, you can go have a nap, you can find out what the Crusaders are, you can mumble around town, and you can do whatever it is you want to do. But if you're looking for like an active, here's a thing. No, everyone here is just kind of getting on, doing their stuff.
I'm gonna elbow Raiko and point at the Crusader tank. So, I'm not from around here. Who are they?
Who did you elbow? Sorry.
To Raiko.
Yeah, Raiko.
Because I figured Raiko would probably be the most knowledgeable one.
Yeah, Raiko kind of goes like, so, like, Crusaders are kind of like a weird one, as in, like, I'm not really sure where we stand with them. Like, Yevon kind of says they're a bit of a no-no, because they haven't disregarded the teachings of Yevon, but they have gone against them. But on the whole, they are good people. They just don't follow the same rules as the church. They're there to help and protect. So, if there's a lot of fiends in an area, the Crusaders will come and they'll try and fight them off. They're good people. They just don't follow the rules of Yevon. So,
Which rules?
So, sometimes Crusaders have been known to use Machina, and it's a lot of paperwork, really. They're kind. Actually, you know what? They're kind of like us. They just kind of do what they want.
I was gonna say we sound like Crusaders.
Yeah. I think their ultimate goal is to stop summoners. Not like actively stop summoners, but they don't agree with the whole system of summoners doing the pilgrimage. They think they're trying to find a different way to defeat sin.
Like a more permanent way?
Maybe. I don't. Last time I checked, they hadn't figured anything out. It was just very much like I think they don't like the use of the final Aeon and the pilgrimage. I think they kind of just want to stab sin a lot, and maybe that'll keep it dead.
I
Are they
mean,
accepting applications?
I mean, probably.
Real quick, out of character. Do we know that the final Aeon kills the summoner?
Is
that common knowledge?
I don't think it's. I think it's common knowledge that the summoner dies, but not the true nature of the final Aeon.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's common knowledge that the pilgrimage is an act of sacrifice. It's not known at what point the summoner dies. They just go, no summoners come back, but we know when they win.
I'm just gonna, I know we haven't traveled together for real long, Raiko, but I have found a place in my cold dead heart for you. And if you didn't die, I'm thinking that would be preferable. Just maybe what if we worked with the Crusaders?
I mean, maybe.
Like, what if we used Aeons along with the Crusaders to beat sin and not have you die? That would be cool.
I'm going to lean in to Lilith and go, what are Machina?
Would Lilith know what Machina are? I
Yeah.
forget.
Machines.
Oh.
Ancient technology forbidden by Yevon because it is believed that sin was created. It's believed that sin was born out of the world and the planet's hatred of human civilization progression through machinery. So it's a big no-no.
Yeah. Basically ancient machinery. Some people, particularly Yevon, I've heard, believe that Sin was created from ancient machina somehow. So usually it's a very big, like, this is forbidden sort of thing.
Do they know that the boat has machinery?
I don't think it's that kind of machinery that they're worried about. I think it's more associated with, like, weapons. If I can remember my schooling correctly.
So it's machinery is not allowed unless it is allowed.
Yeah. It's very weird, wishy-washy, a lot of paperwork.
This land has a very strange religion.
I know, right? But it's fine.
Uh-oh.
There she is.
Okay, apparently Discord did not like me going, I know, right? Lilith immediately gets assassinated.
Yevon strikes again.
Damn you,
Sorry, I
Yevon.
had a moment of, you know, those moments where your brain just kind of blanks. It happened to me. Honestly, my rule of thumb is, as long as the person isn't a total asshole, let them worship whatever they want. If it doesn't affect me, if you're not hurting people due to that, then it's fine by me.
I mean, my people come in two varieties, and both varieties are ancestor worshippers, so I'm not sure. But then I don't think there are too many of us here.
I mean, the place where I grew up, there was only like a select few people that you could really be, so I kind of grew up in a very secluded kind of area, so I don't know if I can really judge, like, oh, maybe there is. Oh no.
I grew up in trees.
I have not grown up in a tree, so I guess I cannot give any proper info.
She nods sagely.
So
We went from religious talk to trees.
that conversation is going on off to the side. Malcolm and Raiko's conversation, if we pick that up, from Malcolm saying, I have a place in my cold, dead heart for you, Raiko kind of responds, goes, so, I mean, yeah, I guess you are right, it probably would be a good idea. I mean, it couldn't hurt. And, if Yevon put Perumpt in a position of power, maybe Yevon isn't always right. And also, your heart can't be cold and dead if you've got feelings and you care. So, it's alive and it's beautiful, just like you.
For back
You want
at
a hug?
Lilith and Lilith and Reno's conversation, Lilith turns for a moment just so she's not facing Reno and sneezes like, I feel like someone's calling me out.
Malcolm looks around like, is anyone looking? And then he goes, yes, I would like a hug.
Raiko respects your wishes and gives a subtle hug, just like a.
Thank you.
Right, so.
Reno, still very confused. So is Yevon a god, or a prophet, or a person?
Yes.
Pretty sure Yevon is a deified summoner, Is that right? Is that what am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah. So, okay, I'm having to remember my history here, but round about 1,000 years ago, give or take, big war between the summoners of Bavel and the infidels of Zanarkand. Zanarkand had become overpopulated. It had become oversaturated and become overly dependent on Machina. Like the city never slept. In fact, remember that dream we had? I think that was Zanarkand.
Oh.
And so, what happened? Big war, lots of fighting, and summoner Yevon. Basically, he kind of like he did the big thing. He made a big thing happen that helped Bavel win, and sadly, Zanarkand tried to respond, and in doing so, they created. Well, it's theorized that they created Sin. Others are like, no, Sin was awoken by the battling because Zanarkand will bring out like giant ancient Machina weapons. There's one conspiracy theory that there's one giant ancient Machina like that could destroy the entire planet, like hidden somewhere, like under the Temple of Bavel. But that's just a conspiracy theory.
I can think of a few things that could do that.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
So
Yevon
not
was
to
a
like
summoner, but he
teaching
put
him.
in place the teachings to keep us safe and protect us from sin.
I mean, not to question the teachings of Yemen anyway, or anything, but given the imaginary threat of the maybe Machina that could destroy the world, and the very real threat of giant space whale of doom, the Yemen side seems more dangerous.
I mean,
So if I understand correctly, Sin is a punishment for using too much Machina, right?
sin is our atonement, the people of Spira's atonement, and
So-
we're not done atoning yet, apparently.
So Machina was banned,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody, including the people that didn't use Machina, are punished by Sin.
Yeah.
And the summoners are meant to appease Sin.
Not.
Are you sure?
Well, we just defeat sin.
Okay. Are you sure that Sin's not here because of Yevon? Because it sounds an awful lot like it keeps coming back to the areas where there's not a lot of technology.
I mean,
And it seems to be punishing the people that don't use technology. We're very slowly turning Raiko towards heresy.
slowly turning Raiko to heresy.
And Raiko's just there going like,
And we're doing it with logic.
Well, no, no. Like, I don't have the answer for that. But that couldn't be the case. Otherwise, the entire religion that governs and rules our entire world for over the last 1,000 years would be corrupt and incorrect, and no one did anything about it. So, like, you raise a really good point, but I think we must be missing a piece to the puzzle, or the nuance has been oversimplified or something, because that would be too big of a noticeable flaw for nobody to have noticed or done anything about it, right?
Yeah, religion never has any large noticeable flaws that no one ever does anything about. You're right, Raiko. That's where you are right on.
Why do I feel
Everybody
like you
looks
don't...
at the camera.
Why do I feel like you're saying one thing but mean something else?
Because that's sarcasm, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna tap Raiko on the shoulder, saying, "Your faith is fine. I'm just trying to understand other cultures." She's gonna look for a place to put her blanket.
Okay. Quick question. I'm gonna put our conversation on a left turn a little bit, and get us away from hurting Raiko's brain. I think we also need to try and figure out what the faith want, because clearly Bahamut was the one that brought us all together, and
Yes.
so he must have some plan that may or may not have anything to do with Yevon.
I'm just saying, grab me on board. I'm not even from here.
Yeah, it's a shame we didn't think and ask Bismarck more questions, because we'd have to go back into the ocean to talk to him again. Ooh,
I mean, we got a temple here.
Yeah, we're at a temple. There's another
Yeah.
faith we can ask.
We can ask them. Ooh, yeah, we could go do that. Do you want to go do that now?
Are we allowed
Yeah,
to do that now? With
Yeah, I
the
can get behind that.
I'm sure the other.
Oh wait,
stuff is
did we
done by
want to
now.
go talk to the Crusaders too?
I mean, we can do both. What do we think is more important? It's not like the Crusaders are going anywhere, and it's also not like
It's not like the faith's going there.
I think honestly, if we do the temple first, regardless of the outcome, we'll have more to talk to the Crusaders about.
Yes, I agree.
All right. So let's go to a temple. Go team, go!
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Pumps in the
Let me just put something together. Can I do that synthesis check for the thing we were talking about?
Yeah.
What was the difficulty for the lantern?
Let me check. So universal properties, and you are wanting status proof, which would be tier 2. Tier 2 accessory. A tier 2 accessory is a moderate at a 9.
Well, I got a +3, so I can probably swing that a bit.
Okay, so yeah, we're +3. I mean, once again, to just use one for maths. Remember, the most common outcome on 2d6 is 7. So you need to roll a 6. Odds are stacked in your favor.
Yeah.
Nice.
So let's see if I lose a Kraken eye.
Drum roll.
Oh my
8.
god.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I had an
wow.
idea.
You know,
But one of us tried to help Reno. Or would that be impossible?
can I use a... how do you use Destiny? Can I re-roll that?
Okay, so you, at any point, you can use Destiny. If you have a point of Destiny, you can just use Destiny to add an additional d6 to a roll.
Do it.
Yeah, just to use, just to see. So,
I mean, considering you need to roll a 1.
yeah. Oops, that's 2. 1d6. Oh, look at that!
Okay, so you know what we were
Couldn't
saying?
do that 2 minutes ago.
You know what we were saying before about
Yeah.
with a 14, which is what you have rolled here. You could make. We were saying this off stream at the beginning, because we were trying to figure out. That's a 14. You could make the tier 4 weapon with that.
Ooh.
Okay, then I'm gonna attach that to my fucking gun. If it's gonna cost me a Destiny point, that's going on my gun.
Yeah. So yeah, tier 4 weapon, which has a craft check of 14. So I am just going to point out, you have doubled the strength of your weapon doing this. Because obviously your damage is tier level, which is 4, times your stat.
Hmm.
So you now deal more damage than anyone else in the party.
Damn.
And I can blind things.
Yeah. So you say, hey, I'm going to make something. You start building a lantern and you go, nah. So describe how have you incorporated the Kraken's Eye into your gunblade? And how does all this work?
So basically what I do is I just start drilling out the stock of my gunblade
Mm-hmm.
and put in like a wired slot and then put the Kraken Eye into that so that the slot can open and close.
Ooh.
And when I'm taking out my gun and I'm going to fire it at something, I tap the slot so it blinks open like eyelids and reveals the eye.
Oh, so it's like fucking Soul Edge.
Yes.
It's cool as hell.
Nice.
Okay, so the way status touch works, if you want to make a note of this somewhere, just so it's easy. Basically, if on a successful weapon attack, you choose to deal 50% damage, so you only deal half damage, and the opponent must make an opposed force or finesse check of your choice, whichever you're better at, more likely, or whatever you feel that they are worse at, and however you want to justify it, because it can be however you want. If you win, you afflict them with the status for 4 rounds.
Nice.
Nice.
So I just love the image of Reno being like, hey, just give me a few minutes, and just pulls out...
You hear the sound of hammering and sawing for no apparent reason.
I love that.
Just goes to the side of the road. All these old people keep walking by like, what the fuck?
This place where Machina is forbidden, and I'm just sitting here tinkering with my gun blade.
Yeah, just, you pull out a blowtorch, you go...
I mean...
For some reason I start humming the Chocobo theme.
I am considering Lilith going to maybe get components to try to upgrade her own sword, so you know.
I still have one thing that we never established the what it does.
What thing?
It's the fish sphere.
Yeah,
that we used to open the gates.
The destruction. Oh wait, yeah.
Well, no, we did destruction sphere, but I also have this fish sphere.
That is true. Technically, that would be a component that you could probably do something with. And Lilith, you have a component which you picked up, being the glass whale.
Oh yeah.
I
keep forgetting.
I just don't think it's particularly good at anything.
Yeah.
Or it's like very high tier stuff. Let me check. So glass.
Well, there's ice.
Okay, so fragile or MP restore. You don't really use MP, and you don't want fragile on anything.
But does ward go on the armor?
Does what? Sorry.
On ice, there's ice strike, ice ward,
Yeah.
fragile, and stop here.
Ice ward is you take less damage from ice. So yeah, you know what? We could say this is either glass or ice, and then for the fish, I think the fish sphere, we will say that's minimum tier 3. Actually, yeah, you could probably push to 3. So the fish sphere we'll say is water, or there's not fish, is there? Damn, I was hoping I was just fish. Yeah, the fish will say is either water or ice, because it's that whole cold thing.
So for whale, glass or ice. For fish, water or ice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just literally just remembered, like, oh yeah, I could probably do synthesizing as well. But I might end up doing that.
And so obviously, if you've got both of these things, you could upgrade your weapon, and then one or both of you could upgrade Malcolm's as well if you wanted to, or if Malcolm wanted his whip upgrading and turning into something new, or you could upgrade someone's armor. You've got options.
I can also, when we get into a fight, I can do basic upgrades in that fight for free without taking up a slot or anything.
Yeah, but you also make them explosive.
That's true, yes.
I need to look into
that's just an added benefit.
You need to look into how that works fully. Like, okay, so what happens when something's explosive? How likely is it to go boom?
And in what way does it go boom?
Yeah, so... let me just look that up. So... Okay, so it's just when destroyed. Okay. So, it basically just means watch out. If your armor gets damaged, it's going to explode. Or if your weapon gets damaged, it's going to explode. So, yeah. But if you were to put that on your, like, thrown items, like rocks, you just, hey, these rocks are explosive now.
Plus, I mean, that, like, a thrown item that'll be used up anyway would probably be the best thing to put stuff like fragile on, maybe?
Yeah. I need to look at what fragile does.
My gun has bullets.
Okay, so fragile is easily damaged, such as whenever the wearer deals or is dealt a critical hit, suffers falling damage or reduces 0, the fragile equipment is destroyed. However, any equipment with the fragile property gains 1 additional property, and is treated as being 1 tier higher than it really is.
Oh, okay. I feel like I need to read that over again. I'm sorry.
I'm saving the destruction sphere for something very special.
So, fragile, once again, it's like, basically, if you deal a critical hit, get hit by a critical hit, suffer fall damage, or be reduced to 0 HP, the item breaks, is destroyed, is gone. However, as a fragile item, it gains an additional property, so you can make it something else and have something else, and it is more powerful. So it's 1 tier higher than it should be.
So you'd also have access to the abilities of that higher tier.
Yeah. But then every time you're like, oh god, I don't want to roll a crit.
Yeah, so I might just hold out or just try to find other components because I don't want to lose my weapons.
I can make a literal glass cannon.
Oh my god, you can.
You can just make a literal glass cannon.
Okay, so...
Pause as we all think about this for a moment.
Yeah.
So,
sorry. I feel like I just put everything off track. I don't know.
No. You're trying to figure out what stuff you want to do, and like, you're trying to use mechanics, not the business. I was just asking, do you want to do anything right now, or do you just want to leave it and come back to it and have a little think about it later?
I'll just think about it later.
All right. Yep. So, we about an hour and a half in. Do we want to take a quick break now, or do we want to like go and do the start of the temple scene and then take a break?
I would think I would go for a break and then do the temple all at once.
All right. Yeah. Cool. So we will take a quick 5-minute break. grab a drink, go to the bathroom, all of that jazz, and we will be right back. See you real soon, everybody. We are back. Wonderful. All right. Let's just jump into it, guys. Let's just go. Temple. That's where you're headed, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Temple. You step in. Similar build to the one under the ocean, except not filled with water and like overgrown. It's very well groomed and maintained. There's like a circular amphitheater in the main room, and that's kind of got some statues. You can hear music. It's the hymn of the faith being played and sung by various people. You see people kneeling and praying to different different statues of summoners. There are 4 very large statues, 2 on either side of a staircase leading up. Then there's 2 doors, one to the left-hand side, one to the right-hand side, that seems to go, and that's on the ground floor, sorry. And they go off into different rooms. You see at the top of the stairs, there is a man who's wearing like a robe. It's very like, I am the person who is in charge of a temple type look. And you see that the door is sealed shut at the top of the stairs.
Reiko, I got a question.
Yeah?
Do you know who lives here?
You mean like the faith?
Yeah.
Yeah, the faith. What faith lives here?
No, not really. Like, honestly, I was never really good at learning what faiths were where. I was definitely much more of a theoretical. I understand how it works, so I couldn't tell you who it is in here.
All right, that's. I mean, it's not a big deal. I was just wondering.
No, it's a really good question, actually.
What is the protocol? Because the last temple we were in was completely and utterly abandoned.
I think Reiko has to initiate this.
Oh, okay,
Probably.
yeah.
You got this, kid.
I do. Thanks. Reiko walks up to the top of the stairs, and you see that they do this little bow. They kind of like move their hands and position them like in front of their chest, and they do a little bow. The person at the top of the stairs does it, and they have a little conversation. Give the gist of it. I'm not gonna just roleplay 2 NPCs talking to each other. But it's basically, hi, I'm Reiko, I'm a summoner. He goes, okay, well, you'll have to wait. There's another summoner currently in there. Take a seat, call a number, and Reiko goes, oh, okay. Thumbs off.
There's a number machine nearby.
House serving summoner number.
Serving summoner
So
number 3.
Reiko will come back down the stairs and be like, so the other summoner's in there. So we kind of just have to wait. I think that's how it works.
Why do we have to wait?
Because you're not supposed to disturb them. And, sometimes people take a very long time. I've heard people can take like a whole week trying to earn the faith's favor and trust. So they could be in there for days.
I mean, we've been told that they arrived here a few days ago, so it seems like they have been here for days.
He must not be a very good summoner.
Maybe they just went in there today.
I mean, it took us, 20 minutes to earn the trust of Bismarck?
Yeah.
20 minutes, it felt like a few hours to me.
Oh,
Weird.
time's a construct.
Reno perks up at that for a moment, and then, metaphor.
Not that kind of construct, yeah.
I mean, you could theoretically make a construct that can tell time.
Yes, they're called clocks.
I wonder if you could make a construct out of. Like, I wonder if you could make time into a material thing, and then, yeah.
I think we did that to part of the building once. I'm not
Okay.
sure because I don't clearly remember that part of the building anymore.
Well, I know what Malcolm's doing the next time he levels up.
Sorry, my brain went blank again. What was it?
Malcolm's going to take the ability where he can also learn time magic.
Nice.
So if we have to wait. Is it waiting for them to come out? Is that just a courtesy thing, or is that a hard and fast law?
I think it's a courtesy thing.
Okay, but we've already established that we're rude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're also surrounded by other people.
So. Oh. So this is one of those really good times to do that whole like self-confidence thing, right? Hang on.
Yeah. Ask to speak to his manager.
No. I've got a better idea because managers are. That's just disturbing somebody else, and we don't need to do that. Hang on.
Do priests have managers?
Probably.
Ask to talk to corporate.
I mean, I think they're the maesters, and I don't think they like us. Because what if they send Parumt?
And also, technically, if you're a priest, wouldn't your manager be whatever god you worship?
If they send prompt, would that mean that we get 2 boats?
I'm hearing we get 2 boats.
Would we want another?
How do we drive
Body
both boats
photo?
at the same time?
That sounds like a problem for future us.
All right, no, but come on, just stand behind me.
All right. Yeah, we're coming.
And Raiko will walk up to the top of the stairs, and the priest will, go, yeah, the summoner hasn't come out. And Raiko goes, yeah, I know. Fuck the rules. Pushes him up to the side, and then starts trying to lift the door open and can't.
Lilith just looks
That's
between Malcolm and Reno like, which one of you taught them that word?
Reno looks very proud.
Malcolm looks very torn between being proud and being very concerned. We should probably go in before they can arrest us. We should go.
They can't arrest us. Look at how frail they are.
Does someone help Raiko open the door?
Yeah.
Break open the door.
So you help. You step inside. The door slams shut behind you. The priest's like, "You gotta go in there." Raiko,
I'm gonna tap Raiko on the shoulder and go, that was great. Very assertive. I love it.
Yeah, I learned it from watching you.
Reno's very proud.
Okay, so it's quite similar to the last temple you went into. It's just like one long corridor. There isn't a like a little bowl to interact with to get stuff. What you do notice is there's a glyph on the far wall, but just off the right hand side there is a doorway that seems to have appeared in there of its own accord. In fact, it looks as if somebody else is already partway through solving the puzzle, making this infinitely easier.
I think we go that way.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep. So
I'm going to examine the puzzle as we go to see how they solved it, because I feel like that might be useful in the future.
Yeah. So you look and you kind of go, okay, so there was a glyph on that wall. You remember when you licked the glyph and that did a thing, so you assume similar thing. You press that. You go down. You see there is an open door, and there is a sphere embedded in the center of the door that is open. So clearly they got a sphere from somewhere, and they used that to open a door. You can go through. This temple is much smaller than the last one you were in, so then that kind of just leads to another another corridor that seems to go round in a square shape. And if you follow the path round, you find yourself at like a crossroads. On the left-hand side, there appears to be an opening in the wall, and there is a pedestal, and there appears to be some kind of very ornate-looking circle that goes down. Some kind of like lift or elevator or whatever. On the right-hand side, there is a small room that has a recess for a sphere, but nothing embedded in it. And then the path also continues further on forward and then goes around the corner to the right.
So we're supposing that they went down, yeah?
Yeah, that looks like the way to progress.
So there's two things that we could do. One, we could try to find something to put into... We could try to find somebody to summon the elevator back up.
Mm-hmm.
Or two, we could look for some rope.
That would work.
Would there even be any rope in there?
I could just jump down.
That could also work.
It seems like an awful far way down.
Yeah, well, I don't take fall damage.
Okay, but how do we get down? We have a summoner who... the important one to get down there is the summoner, right?
Yeah.
You're right. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Good,
What?
Kiko,
Okay.
how far down is
What
it?
if I hold Ryko and?
Then you don't take fall damage, but he does. They do.
All right,
How far down is it?
Have that plan B.
Do you want to go and inspect it?
Yeah.
Alright, so you go off to the left, you walk past the pedestal, there's like a little glowing, like a little glowy light coming off the floor, like quite close to the pedestal. But if you go, you look, where this very ornate looking circle is, there's like a little barrier around it, except for one place to go in. And it looks quite far down, like so much so, like you can see there's light at the bottom, but it's quite dim. So it's like, oh yeah, that's a pretty long fall.
See, this is when we really should have considered something like rope. This is why they give you rope in D&D. For when you can't figure out puzzles in Final Fantasy.
Would there be any point to do a check to look around for rope?
I mean, I can't imagine many people leave rope lying around in here.
Yeah, fair. Worth asking.
Can we look around for a sphere?
Yeah, on the pedestal, there is a sphere embedded in there. It kind of just looks like it doesn't really do anything. It's like that sphere was just kind of pushed there to be out of the way. But if you look at the pedestal, that seems to be like on top of something. Like if you look at the floor underneath it carefully, it definitely looks like the pedestal is weighing something down.
So I wonder if we push it out of the way, if the elevator will come back up.
Maybe.
Yeah, we could try.
See, player me is concerned about trapping the people down there, but Reno is already pushing it out of the way.
I'm gonna be going down there anyway, so.
Yeah, you just shove the pedestal back. Hey, you do that, it comes off the pressure plate, and you hear like a mechanical whirring of sorts, and a small disc. Well, not small, it's large enough for all of you to stand on. Just kind of comes up and it fills the slot.
Okay, everybody on the disc,
Yeah.
That was easy.
Mm-hmm.
and I'll push the pedestal back on the pressure plate and run and jump on the disc.
Wait, do you want me to do that since I can
That's
jump
probably the
without
safer
fear?
choice.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, do the thing.
So yeah,
Okay, so we do that.
you do the thing, and boom,
Yeah.
elevator down. it's it's not long, you know, it's like about 30 seconds to a minute. But you know, you go down, it goes like pitch black, and then it lights up as you get to the bottom. You find yourself in a very ornate circular room, lots of red and like gold and like hints of purple, and standing next to a very ornate looking door which has a symbol. The symbol seems to resemble two large wings, and stood next to it is quite possibly, like, when I say big handsome man, what image comes into your mind?
Ryan Reynolds.
Chris Evans as Captain America.
Fuck if I know.
So it's very that. It's very like generic handsome man. Like big, broad chested, not wearing a shirt because shirts are for people who get cold. Rippling in muscles, has wonderful mustache, like groomed mustache, light stubble, slightly messy hair that like it's like a little bit spiked up but kind of flops down a little bit at the front. Has like the biggest looking sword you have ever seen, like so much so it is like it's like people shouldn't wield that. He seems to have like some large armored gauntlets on, and his lower half looks very heavily armored. And he looks and goes, "Oh, sorry, were we taking too long down here? That's awfully sorry. Do you work here? Are you temple people?"
Do we look like temple people?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to them. Hello.
Okay. Yeah, we're not temple people.
Ah.
If we say we are temple people, would that make this easier or harder?
So now I'm confused because we're in here, so you have to wait until we're finished. Are you bandits?
It's more of a suggestion. You know, it's more of a suggestion.
And with that, he reaches up, grabs this monstrously large sword. He tries to pull it out, but he can't. There's not enough room. He kind of like lifts it and hits the top of the door behind him. Oh, damn.
I'm gonna walk right up to him and put my finger on his chest and go, hey, none of that.
Oh.
None of that.
Okay, so not the... Sorry.
We're allowed to be rude. You're not allowed to be rude.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of an us thing.
Sorry. Didn't mean to. I thought you were thieves because you said you were... I got all turned around and confused.
You jumped to conclusions.
Yes.
You made assumptions about people you've just met.
And,
I could admire that.
Yes, and assuming makes an ass of you and me, but in this case, me.
I will take my index finger and middle finger, put them together, and swat his nose and go, no.
Sorry. Very sorry.
I have to be honest. You were much more agreeable when you weren't talking.
I mean, you'd be surprised how often I hear that.
I would not be, even a little bit.
120 times.
Are you talking per day or just in general? Because you're nearly there.
Per day.
Yes, nearly. Sometimes more. In fact, usually more. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so here's what has actually happened. We were actually scheduled to be here, and then for whatever reason, the temple staff gave you our reservation, and so they let us in here. It's been a terrible mix-up. So we're actually going to need you guys to step out so that we can have our rightful reservation.
Do you want to roll to lie?
Yeah, would that be acting?
I
would
need
say
to
don't
check.
be
I
either
know there's acting, and
or
I think
performing.
I know there is acting, but I'm not sure if there's like an active like deception or not. I don't think there is. I think acting covers that, doesn't it? The ability to lie, fake emotions, devise new personalities. Yes, you can lie by acting.
I got a 13. Oh, that's a crit.
That's a fucking crit. With that, he goes, "Oh my god, oh my goodness. I'm so awfully sorry. I had that happen one time at a dinner reservation. So I have been there. So I will correct this right now." And with that, he just slams his fist, and his fists are like the size of like cooked hams, like big man. He just slams them against the door and goes, Val, we're not meant to be here yet. Valerie. The door slides open, and in stark contrast to big, generically handsome man, there is how best describe this? Someone clearly presenting female, long dark hair, dark skin, dark, beautifully brown skin. The hair is kind of like it curls and wafts like over her shoulders and back. She is wearing what appear to be like thigh-high leather boots that tie up with straps down the sides, and they are open-toed with quite a tall heel, like a good 5 or 6 inch heel. She is wearing essentially like a bikini top. She is clearly very proud of her body. But she's not like cliched like supermodel skinny. She is proportioned as a healthy adult human female would be. So like, but she is clearly proud of that, even if she has like a stretch mark here or there. But she knows what she is, and she is proud of that, and she owns her appearance and her sexuality. And she's got like a piercing in her nose and striking, like deep, dark brown eyes. And she just kind of looks and goes, yes, no, what? No. Who are you?
We are the summoner and guardians that are actually meant to be here. We had an appointment, and they gave you our appointment, and there's been a terrible mix-up. We would like to have our appointment. Thank you.
She pinches the bridge of her nose and goes, hands? Is that what they told you? And the big guy goes, yes.
He was very rude.
You should not talk, hands. Okay? Great. Wonderful. No. That's not how it works. It's first come, first served, darling. You can't just storm in somewhere because you feel like it.
Not in the besaid. I mean, we had to fill out a 503B.
Yeah, it took forever.
The fuck is a 503B?
You don't even
know. How are you even here?
I'm here because I am a summoner. I'm going to save the world from sin.
Okay.
You're going to save the world from sin, but you can't even fill out a 503B.
That is not a thing. I am adamant that is not a thing.
You can't just say something's not a thing and expect it to not be a thing. Like, that's not how reality works here.
Something is a thing and expect it to be a thing. That is not how reality works. I was right in the middle of something here.
Yeah, you're right in the middle of what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
We can badger anybody, damn it.
Yeah, there is.
Malcolm turns to, points his head a little bit at Reiko and is like, Reiko, run in there.
Right, Reiko gives a nod and goes, And you see Raiko kind of like just take a little sidestep so they can position themselves, and Valerie is just like, oh my god, what is what? Who are you people? What are you doing?
Listen, you're asserting that you have not filled out your 503B and that you have taken a slot that is meant for us, and you are asking us to identify ourselves to you? Who are you?
Have you even filled out your taxes for this month?
What the hell are taxes? And with that, Raiko just bull rushes through, shoves her out the way, and goes, "Fuck the rules!"
Okay.
Reno wiped away a small tear. I'm so proud.
Okay, now I just don't even feel that I had to fill out my taxes despite not even living in one area anymore.
I don't have taxes. I don't live here.
Free taxes don't exist.
So the door closes behind Raiko, leaving the three of you just stood here with these two, with this one very happy and apologetic man, and this one very angry and confused woman. Going,
I'm technically here on a student visa.
what just happened?
What just happened was you saw someone who filled out their 503B form take their rightful spot in the cloister of faith.
Oh my god.
They showed initiative, and I am so proud.
Hands, I hereby apologize for every time I called you stupid and mocked you and said you're the most infuriating thing on the face of the planet. These people...
See, we're bringing families together.
Possibly the nicest thing I've ever seen in strangers. Very well done.
sorry.
Good. It's good that you can actually own up to that.
I just want to say I'm sorry for being, quiet because I didn't know how to add to this situation, but it's just amazing. I'm sorry, but also, you guys are doing great. I'm still sorry I can't add more to it.
I have worked construction. I can bullshit my way through anything.
Valerie is just stood there, rubbing her temples, being like, what? I have no words for any of this.
I'm sure there's a word. I take out a book and I start looking through a dictionary of monster languages.
Hold on, I can probably find a word that you're looking for. And then Lilith just starts thinking long and hard.
I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look him out. Should we go in there with him? With them?
No, I think that's something they have to do on their own.
But it could be fun.
I think this is actually one rule that we can't work around.
She squints as she thinks that through. She's trying to find the loophole.
You went in and you watched the thing with Bismarck. You've already broken this rule once before. Who's gonna stop you? Val and Hans? Really? They've not brought out that 503B.
Right, but we also don't want to risk Reiko opening the door and having them get back inside.
Very true.
I'm gonna look at Val and go. So just to clarify, because this wasn't in the actual charter that we signed, whose house is this?
Oh my god. This isn't a house, it is a temple.
Yeah, that house is a faith.
You're just fucking with me, aren't you? Is this a test? Is this the secret trial of Besaid Temple? To perplex and fuck with summoners? Is that it?
Excuse me, ma'am. Do we look like the type of people that would fuck with you?
I mean, to be frank, dear, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, you do resemble somewhat of a fuckboy. So perhaps.
I take.
Okay, but
Okay, hold on. I am many things, but a fuckboy is not one of them. And I'm gonna get a little bit threatening with my whip.
you will say "fuck man." You will address me as "fuck sir."
Okay, so how do you get threatening with your whip?
In a
I
non-fuckboy manner.
have my hand on it, and I'm not gonna quite crack it yet because we are in a small area, and I don't want to accidentally hit someone. But I have my hand on it, and I do look upset. I look very upset.
She looks at you and sees you handling the whip, and she goes, "Really? You don't think I'm experienced with whips? You think you're gonna scare me with that?"
Oh, I'm not trying to scare you.
Are you experienced with goblin bombs?
Lilith just looks at Malcolm again like, wait, are you just flirting with them now? Yeah,
No.
flirting.
I do understand the confusion, though.
It can be hard to tell sometimes. Listen, just that aside, just let's assume that it doesn't matter if it's test or not test, if this is a dumbass or if that's a fuckboy. Whose house is this?
Oh yeah, back to the important question.
Yeah. Like any moment of seriousness or where she was trying to reclaim power or anything immediately disappeared when you said, "Do you know goblin bombs?" And she's like, "What? Huh?" Just immediately thrown out to the side.
That's what made her speechless?
Because she has no idea what's going on. She is perplexed and confused and just oh my god. Okay. Fine.
We are good at creating personal crises.
She puts her hands up and pinches her fingers to her thumb in a hush motion. Okay, everybody shut up. Shush. You can all be grown-ups. You clearly want this. I don't care.
I just want to know who lives here.
Yevon. God. I don't know. The spirit of a devoted patron of the Church of Yevon. They live here. There's a giant statue in there who is actually kind of a pain in the ass.
So you're saying that Yevon lives here?
I don't know.
I think we should go in. I
Yevon
gotta
lives everywhere.
this guy.
In a metaphorical sense, maybe Yevon's teaching. So I don't know.
I think we should go in. I got a bone to pick.
I feel like we shouldn't make Raiku's job harder.
Isn't that our job?
Usually, but
I mean, keep him safe, but toughen him up.
you make a strong point.
Besides, for all we know, right, having friends could be beneficial. It could show loyalty.
That's true. What if the final Aeon is the friendships we made along the way?
Val throws her hands up in utter exhaustion and goes, "Alright, hands. We're gonna go take 5. We're gonna sit down there, let these people do their shit. I just can't. I literally just can't."
I'm gonna look at Hands. Hands!
Yes! Biggest smile on his face.
Are you truly regretful of the way you acted when we came in?
Yes, I'm still. I feel so terrible about it all. And
I'll take out a leather sack and put it in his hand and tap his arm. I go, "Good boy," and it's going to be full of Kraken meat.
Val, I think it was a test. And I think I passed.
You sure did, buddy.
Val has already walked down the stairs and she just goes and sits against the wall and just she's crossed her legs and she's closing her eyes, fingers over her eyes, going, "Oh my god." Hans just stood there with his bag of crack and he goes, just smile. Smiling is not confusion. Hans lacks awareness of the situation to be confused. He's just happy. He is just happy to be there.
Yeah, so let's see if Franco will let us in.
Maybe. I think I now know what the word they're looking for is. And Lilith just says a word in Albet. And it's just like, roughly translated, it means happy and mad. Sad and mad. Franco calls it smad.
Hans is just sort of going, I don't know what that's like. I'm never sad. You don't get
I
mad
feel like your
either.
friend over there is.
Oh, no, she I think Val is always, what do you call it, smad? Is that like being
Yes.
hangry?
Oh, yes.
Mm,
Totally.
I mean, give her some of the Kraken meat. Maybe that'll help.
that's a really good idea. Thank you.
You might want to cook it first. I tried it as sushi. It didn't taste very good.
I'll see what I can do. But thank you. I'm Hans, by the way. In case you heard that, but we didn't introduce ourselves properly. Hello. Hang on,
Hey, I know.
Reno,
I'm Malcolm.
Reno, Malcolm,
Lilith.
Lilith. It's a wonderful pleasure to meet you all here. We don't get to meet many other summoners. I don't know many other guardians. I want to create like a network where we can all be social between all the guardians, because nobody quite knows what our life and experiences are like. And I think it'd be quite pleasant to share them. So, when we're all done here, would you like to go get a drink or something and have a rip-roaring time?
Maybe we could create an organization of us where we all pay dues, and then us as an organization can fight for our rights as guardians.
That would actually,
That'd be pretty awesome.
Like, it could be a union of guardians.
Yes. So if we all pay dues, basically create like a small pot of money.
Yeah.
Yep. So then, thankfully, I've never really needed it, but one time I met a guardian terribly injured, saved his summoner's life, by the way, and just
Oh my good goodness.
it was horrible. Nearly lost an eye and had to pay out of pocket. It's awful.
We should have L&I.
We should. There's many dangerous things. We're just expected
when I
to
was-
do it for no benefits. For no, Yevon doesn't do anything. Yevon doesn't help us out at all, do they? Very much off you go.
When I was in university, we have the thing where it's student insurance, where if we have injuries or something like that, the insurance takes care of it. The way it works is we pay into the insurance every month, and if something happens, we can then withdraw that money from the general fund to pay for our injuries.
Insurance.
It would be great if everyone had access to that, and not just the people who already have the financial means for it.
Oh yes.
I mean, we
Like, they were universal in a
tuition
sense.
and housing and various other things, but it worked out. We did explode a lot.
I wonder if the Crusaders have insurance. I wonder what their benefits are like.
I know Darkness
Medical
has some
technology.
insurance.
Do you know the Crusaders? You met with them, you talked with them. Val says they're not very good people. She calls them... Val, what did you call them? Egotistical idiots.
What did she call them?
She looks up and goes, egotistical idiots. with messiah complexes.
That does not sound at all familiar.
No.
Everybody stares at her for a moment and goes back to the conversation.
Yeah. And she just goes, "Oh my god." And Hans just goes like, "Yes, they're good people. Even if they don't quite follow the teachings of Yevon, I may not agree with their methods, but I do recognize that in principle, what they intend to do is a good thing. They just don't always do it in the nicest possible way. So, maybe tweak some things."
Just because we disagree with their methods doesn't mean that they're not doing it in a good way. It's just different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anytime I've sat and had a drink with them, they're wonderful people, great chaps.
I wonder if we can get them to join our union.
Oh yeah, maybe. Now I'm kind of spitballing here. Hans, now how happy are you with your current arrangement? Because you are a delight.
With Val. Val.
No, just your current arrangement, and I start winking violently at him.
Now you're hitting on him.
No, I'm not hitting on him. I'm trying to be subtle because she's sitting right here.
So he sees you winking at him, and he goes, and he winks back very slowly, like, "Yes, but no, I'm actually, I know Val is quite difficult at times, and she's full of
Herself?
Piss and vinegar?
I was gonna say spite. I was gonna say spite and utter contempt, but but in reality, that's mostly a facade. She's actually a really, really good person. She just has, and Val is just there going like, "Shut the fuck up," like just glaring at all, like not actively intervening, but muttering to herself, just "Shut the fuck up." And he's like, she's actually really, really kind. She kind of has this thing where she pushes people away by being, oh god, what? Val, what is it your mother called you?
Ooh, this will be good.
And Val's just like, oh my god. What was it? A cold-hearted bitch. Yes, that I believe that's what it was. It's mostly a facade because Val kind of has this ideology that other people kind of get in the way, and when they get in the way, they get hurt. So if she just does it and makes them not be in the way, then they'll all be safe, and only she has to get hurt. It's actually noble in a very selfish, backwards kind of way. But I'm here to make sure she doesn't get hurt.
I've got a phrase. It's on the tip of my tongue. What is it? Idiot with a messiah complex? Is that it? Is that the phrase I'm thinking of?
I was half expecting you to just look at me because I do similar things.
Okay, but the difference is that you don't, and I'm just gonna go look at the door.
Yeah, you just like crack the door open and step inside.
Alright, you can do what you want, Hans. I just want to let you know there's an open invitation if at any point you want to leave a summoner that pushes you away and join a summoner that actively gives you hugs. We'll be over here.
Also, if you ever need help with taxes, it'd be on
Or your 501b.
your
503B.
503b, my bad.
When you
The
say
501 was the one we did 2 days ago.
Oh, right.
when you say actively gives you hugs, you see Hans kind of like do shifty eyes and look, clock Val, and then leans in and whispers into your ears like, "Oh, for not what we're talking about with the hugs."
Oh, anytime you want. And they are fantastic.
Technically speaking, we just take them both with us. I mean, 2 summoners in one group.
I
Is that
mean,
allowed?
but it's not allowed, but like,
I mean, I don't think there's any rules
Listen,
on it. We could theoretically be like, hey, how about we all
I'm just saying, there's a whole lot of things that people seem to be doing because it seems to be the nice thing to do that is just totally unnecessary, and I slip in through the door.
And Hans goes,
The key to beating Sid is that we need multiple summoners.
that could certainly be something to think about.
yeah. No, think about it. Val, you can come too if you want, I guess. And Malcolm slips in the door.
Lilith is just thinking like, oh, yeah. So remember the word I meant, I said, and she just repeats it in Albed, despite the fact that probably neither Hans nor Val knows the language, and just slips through the door as well.
Okay, so you go in, the door closes behind you. Similar setup to the temple with Bismarck, except this time the giant stone slab on the floor resembles like a youngish looking girl, maybe like no older than like 16, and her head is bowed with like red hair coming over it, like covering her eyes and like framing the side of her face. She is wearing like a robe, and there are 2 large leathery bat-like wings going over the top of her. Kneeling in front of this is Raiko, and as the 3 of you step in, you can feel like a gust of wind go through, and all the candles in here like flicker and die out before lighting up even brighter than they were before. And in the place, standing on the faith appears to be a semi-translucent visage of a girl, like a young teenage girl. She has dark hair that is like braided into 2 ponytails going down either side. She is wearing like a yellow dress with blue sleeves, and the sleeves are quite wide. They almost look slightly wing-like. And she goes, "So, your friends have come to help, and that is all I wanted. All I ever wanted was friends."
I'm gonna skip up next to Raiko. Who might you be?
I am Valafor. Now, excuse me, I need to look at the description of things, because the GM didn't prepare things quite so quickly.
Lilith just walks up like, do you need a moment to get back on script?
Yes. So, there's that description. That's not the description I wanted. I wanted that one. Yeah. So, Valafor, the girl, she stands there and goes, "Sorry, what was the last thing you asked me before I got distracted?"
Lilith was just being like, do we need to leave? Do you need to prepare like a speech or something? Do we need to just step out? Again?
No, it's okay. So, I already said I'm. Hang on, let me start again. I am Valafor. You have shown great bravery in the face of danger. You have overcome many obstacles, and you have sacrificed many things. You have sacrificed traditions, and you are breaking the chains that bind those trapped in society. I applaud that, and I applaud all of you for being willing to risk your own safety, stepping in here to assist your friend. That showed great courage. and a willingness to sacrifice yourselves for the greater good.
Reno's still trying to parse that for a compliment.
I will accompany you. You have earned my blessing. What do we think would be a cool little token of valor for? You know, if we had like an ocarina that was vaguely whale shaped. What do we think would be cool for valor for?
Maybe like a fan.
I like a little fan.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, so it's like a fan, but like you can flip it out on both ends, so it kind of looks like a pair of wings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Valifor does that. It holds her arms out, and this fan appears before you. Like, go, and may your dreams and ambitions soar high above the clouds. Well done, Guardians, for coming to your summoner's aid. You all have passed the test.
Lilith does a tiny bow.
Malcolm also bows.
Raiko's staring at the fan like it's a shiny.
Malcolm reaches out and lightly pushes Reno down.
And with that, the Faith, the semi-translucent human being, she brings her arms in, and as she does so, the large, hoopy sleeves, they kind of resemble wings, and they flap, and doing so makes all the candles flicker out again. As she bows, and when they relight, she is gone. You have unlocked the summon Valifor.
Yay!
I like her. She's very, helpful.
Yeah,
Why
she was
doesn't
nice.
she have friends? She should have friends. She's nice.
Probably because she's
Dead.
interested.
It didn't seem to stop her
going-
just now.
I was going to say stuck inside a temple where she can't necessarily leave unless it's being summoned, but you know,
I'm gonna
Yeah, that
snatch.
makes sense.
to go grim and dark. I don't know why you would do that.
I'm
This
gonna
is
snatch the
dark
fan.
edge.
I'm gonna snatch the fan. I'm like, okay, so that's not right. We're taking this fan, we are going outside, and we are going to have a talk with this woman about getting out more.
Raiko kind of looks and goes, "You don't really understand what's going on, do you? She's dead.
They didn't stop her a few minutes ago.
No, she is tied." And he, Raiko, they point at the giant stone slab. That stone slab is the girl. She has given her body and her soul to become this, and then she grants people she deems fit with an aspect of that, and that is how we summon. Like Bismarck, you know, sea captain guy, he did the same thing.
So what you're saying then, right, is when we summon an aspect of them, and they get to experience the outside world through that summon.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. I am now on board for getting every single summon on this planet because they need to get out more.
Okay. Well, let's go. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of peckish.
I got more Kraken meat.
Maybe
I'll cook
we
it this time.
should eat something other than Kraken. My guts aren't feeling great.
I feel like I need to eat something other than seafood.
We're on an island.
With that, Raiko will stand up and head towards the door. When it opens, you see Hans, who still just stood there. Bag of Kraken, he's just chewing raw on a piece of Kraken meat. And goes, "This is really
Ooh.
good." Oh,
Yeah,
Val!
it's pretty funny.
Val, I think they're done. We can go in now. Well, you can go in. I'll stay here. You can guard it, like you told me to. And Val just kind of goes, "Oh my fucking god, are you done? Can I get back on, please?" It was like 24 hours into meditation in there, and you just fucked it all up.
I'm going to put my hands on Val's shoulders and raise her up, look her straight in the eyes, and go, "You really, really, really got the wrong idea."
She's kind of like trying
Well,
to read you, and like goes,
I'm going to look at Hans and go, "Why don't you go in there, Hans?"
Because
And then
I'm not supposed to. Why don't I go in there, Val? I was like, oh my god. Also, can you please not touch me? And I don't remember giving you consent to touch me.
I'm going to take my hands away and smile, and then just tap the fan against my face and start walking back towards the elevator.
And she's just like, she pulls and goes, fuck. The rest of you head out to the elevator.
Lilith will just lean in over to Raiko to just whisper, should we give them a hint? Or are we going to just leave them here to meditate for another 24 hours?
I think she'll figure it out.
Okay.
Malcolm,
So,
do you all say anything before you head out?
Walking by Hans, he's just gonna be like, hugs, and keep going to the elevator.
As you head
even
to
better, you should have asked Raiko for a hug and just looked at Hans like.
All right. As you all head out to the elevator and about to leave, if you look over your shoulder, you hear behind you Val head back and go, "Hans, you dumb son of a bitch! You get it. If they figured it out, we can figure it out. Come on." He's like, "Yes." And you hear the door close behind them as they go inside. Alrighty. We are just about at time there today. So, we will save us. We'll start next session with you leaving the temple. Sorry, is there one last thing you wanted to do?
Yeah, before I forget, when we leave, can I take the sphere out at the top of the door?
Yes, you can.
We're just gonna collect all the spears.
So, on the way out, you take the sphere out of the door, and the door closes. You've essentially closed them there. Alright, so we are going to wrap up there. Thank you very much, everybody, for... Yep. Thank you very much, everybody. I have been the Bog Knock. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, all as the Bardic Knock. Players, can you tell me who you are quickly, please?
I guess I don't know why I spoke up first, but okay. I am a tired by. I apologize for being mostly silent, but at the same time, I was just watching to see where Malcolm and Reno would just take things. So I'm sorry I couldn't add more to that, but I felt like I couldn't add anything else.
Okay.
You can find me back here on Wednesdays for a while now for Ardic's new Digimon game, where I play as Rukia, who just got sent to like the Digimon world, or at least in this MMO that Mikami released, because Mikami owns everything, including the world, including the sun, including the moon. Quite incredible. And then every second Thursday you can find me over at the Undead Case channel, where we are playing Curse of Strahd, the And that's where I play as our ASMR bard, Satari, who was called the heck out alongside everybody else during a fortune-telling event, or a fortune reading from Madame Eva. But yeah, really, this session was very fun, and even though I didn't really do much, but yeah, hopefully next time next time I'll be more energetic and more out there. Oh no, I feel
Alrighty.
like I'm being awkward now.
Thank you. Nat, who are you?
I'm Natural One. I'm playing Malcolm, and I'm here and on Twitter, and that's about it right now.
All
And
right.
I had fun.
I'm glad you had fun. And finally, Rain, who are you?
I am Rain Hayes, and I apologize for talking so much this time around. You can find me every Tuesday night on Shay Foxy's channel playing a very stressed out werewolf. And you can find me on the Dungeon Masters Guild, where I have a great many products. Yeah. I apparently, once I get into Reno, I can't help myself. I have to talk circles around people.
It's fine. I'm apologizing for talking very little, so it balances out, maybe.
That's how it
Sorry,
works.
I'm awkward. Yeah.
Alrighty, so once again, thank you very much, everybody. I will have this edited and uploaded, ideally by Wednesday. And until next time, stay safe and happy adventures. Bye-bye.
Bye.